Welcome back to Chippo Fishing. Today we are doing an install, or getting ready to do an install of Star Wars, the night fishing. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, maybe a little over dramatic, but here's what we got going. I ordered some LED strip lights. So off of eBay, this is the company that I ordered them. However, they only sent half of my order. I was going to do 2 rolls on the inside blue and on the outside green to help me see my line and to be a little bit more of a fishing tractor. Now, as you can see, they may not look bright, but if you start staring at them, they're going to get bright. They're going to get bright. So here's what you can do. You can do 2 different styles. You can either put them underneath the gunnel facing out, or you can turn them like this facing down and get a little bit of a light effect instead of a light bright. So between this, my green lights on the outside whenever they decide to show up or they send them, and my night bright green fishing lights, which are awesome. So we're going to be set up. So this is a pre-install, just trying to figure out. Some people take these and run them from an inverter, your battery to an inverter to a electrical plug. The inverter switches from AC DC, or I don't know if it goes both ways or not, but myself, since these are 12-volt lights, I'm just going to wire it to the batteries. Jumping ahead of myself, a little bit of explaining about these. They come in 5-meter rolls. So if you order 10 meters, you're going to get 2 rolls. They don't really always tell you that. You got to read the fine print, especially on eBay. Good luck contacting the seller too. Supposedly if you hook them in series one after the other, the second one has a tendency to be brighter. I guess it depends, and it would probably draw more juice from your battery because it's pushing down a longer avenue versus having 2 tied together and sending them in different directions, which is sort of what I'm going to do. So for my install, I'm going to do this is supposed to be a 3M backing that helps us stick it, but it only says M, and some of the other higher quality ones I looked at said 3M on the actual stripping here. So I think it's just a play of copyright. So yeah, they say it's 3M backing. So learned on the video, we have a gel super glue. So every 6-8 inches, I'm gonna put it, when I peel off the backing to stick it and hear it, I'm gonna put a drop of super glue every 6-8 inches. We'll see how it goes. And to prep it, I've got some acetone. I was in Walmart and saw a gentleman there, looked pretty friendly. I said, excuse me, what would be the best way, this or that? And he's like, acetone, but you got to watch out for the paint. So thank you, Mark. Mark, new subscriber. Okay, so Mark, no, Mike, excuse me, pardon me. So acetone, you got to wipe it down really good, and hopefully that'll be a better effect, and it'll stick it to it a little bit better. I'm going to attach the wires. I'm going to join the 2 spools together And I've got a little length of wire that I'm going to run to the batteries and attach to my battery clip, so I can just take it on and off as I need. I have a pair of cutting dikes to cut my jumper wire from the battery to the lights, and I have some wire strippers. But you know what? Don't use wire strippers, just thin gauge wire. This is my wire stripper of choice. Get a lighter, melt it down, melt it a couple times, pull it, melt it again, and pull it off and strip it down. That way you don't damage your any of the separate wire on the individual strands. So there we go. That's it in a nutshell. I'm sort of also, I've got some double face tape. No, this is not going to hold it, but I just want to see what's going to be the difference. I'm going to wait for tonight. I'm going to wait and see if just shining it in my eyes, how bright that's going to be at night, or reflecting down. I'm almost sure reflecting down, but I'm just curious on how bright it would be. But I definitely want to do it one time and not have to redo it. But if you do need to redo them, or you find that they don't stick, sometimes people have problems because they don't actually prep the metal where they're going. So, and they don't use super glue, but I've heard that you can go to your auto parts store and get some real 3M two-phase adhesive. That's what they use for doing these LEDs up underneath the cars, and supposedly not have any problems. So if you have to do it again, get the 3M instead of the partial M. So anyway, it's a work in progress. It's one of those things like you're installing a trolling motor. After you do it 3 times, you know what. Oh, you need to do this, and this. Otherwise, you're just trying to think ahead of yourself and second guess at the same time. So, but it's just like in life. You learn from doing, and you learn from your boo-boos, and you go on, and hopefully you take your knowledge and apply it in the future. So that's what we got going, and I'm almost sure I'm going to go down for the accent because these are going to be too bright. So I will also use the double face tape in figuring out my length on where it's going to go and where I'm actually going to run it. I know I'm going to start here at my battery and then come with my wire to here and then run down the length here, and I may go back behind this lip here to illuminate up front and then up underneath, and that should take me back to about midway. Then I'm going to, with the second run, which is still attached here, see, all my connections are going to be soldered, but right now they're just twisted and a little electric tape on them. Oh, and at the end, these spools, you're basically just got, some of them have plugs, but these just have 2 wires, positive and negative. Positive red, negative black. So I just bent them over, doubled them over, and taped them so that they would be separated. I taped one and then taped the other over that just while I'm trying them out. I've left them on for about an hour, and they're not hot or anything like that. So that's a good thing. They produce a lot of light, ambient light, but they don't draw a lot of current. So getting back to my second one, I'm probably going to start here and probably come here and do a wrap around on my console, or I may come down to the bottom and come around. I may come around here on the side and then come up underneath my console up to here, and then down here so it'll shine a light in this area. And from here, I'll probably just jump from there to here and run them back here as far as I can go. And if I have any extra, maybe I'll come here and run one strip up underneath here where my batteries are. Might give me a little bit of help at night. So we got all that going, and trying to figure out batteries, and running 3 depth finders, or at least 2, and one of them being live scope. And so running this off of my live scope battery and just trying to figure out how it's going to work. And then my outside lights running outside, I'm going to start from my cranking battery. I know, cranking battery. I'm going to use my cranking battery. Oh, dear God. Bring some jumper cables. Okay, so I'm going to start here and work my way out here and run it to the bow. I'm going to make sure I get up to the bow to help illuminate the light, because I'm going to be fishing up front most. So I'll be going up underneath here and as far back as I can come. Then take my jumper wires and run to the battery here and do the same thing. Of course, I'll have a longer jumper. Okay, folks, on my routing, I decided to go for plan B. Instead of coming around in this way and up underneath the console, which would be really nice. This right here is going to be sort of here to there and around to here, and then the transition through here in the carpet would be sort of funky. And that's about almost 6 foot, believe it or not, there to here to there, maybe 5. That's going to give me almost all the way across in the back. So I'm just going to run it straight through here, down, zigzag, and then up underneath here to the other side. Now, next step, I am going to solder my wires and let a little solder run through here and here, and then my other connections here to the actual LED leads here, which is a little bit thinner gauge wire. So I'm going to coat these good with solder, let solder soak in, and then I'm going to join them positive to positive. So I'll have three wires together, and then I will solder them together. Shrink wrap, which I like my solder and shrink wrap, and then I will solder to the clip. You've got your little piece. I'll slide that up along with some shrink wrap, and it has a little cutout right here. I don't know if you can see it right there, but if you run it through and you stick your wire up through there, and you can pinch it tight, and then I will solder it to there, close around it, and drop a little solder here. I'll put a lot of solder on it and then heat it up, so hopefully that will adhere. Try to not to do a cold solder, which, as you know, cold solder just joins it, but it doesn't actually infuse it all together. So between that and some Miller High Light, we're gonna get the job done. Get her done. All right, so gonna start soldering now. Get that connections, and I'll have my one wire with the 2 hookups here to here. It'll be affixed here, My clips will just hang here. I could run a switch and may run a switch later, and maybe a fuse, which will give me a little more extra room. But as the wire is cut now, I'm going to have just enough room to clamp positive, negative, and I'll have one lead coming here, running this way and around, and most of the way back, and one starting here, running towards the back, and most of the way across the transom. So I think that's a better plan. Yeah, it'd be nice to get a light up here, especially up underneath here. It looks sharp, but yeah, I think right now just tackling this, and less turns. Now this LED is flexible and pliable, and you bend it and twist it, or have it go in transitions pretty much. But it's still, doing electric. Sometimes the simplest way might be the best. So thanks again, and let me solder these leads. Everybody's seen solder. If not, go to YouTube. Hey, there's plenty of videos on there. There's probably plenty on doing this here too, but this is mine, so I'm doing it. Go. Peace. All right, folks. We have unplugged the soldering gun. Ooh-ah. And I've made all my electrical connections for the inside. I've got one tape one way, another tape, and then this one will be going up front, across, and back. Second one will be going towards the stern, zigzagging right here, and out under here from full light, to get a little more light, since this area is not going to be completely wrapped in light. I think that's the best way. Got my positives, all three of my positives, the two lights, and my plugs together, soldered together, shrink wrapped. My negative all together, shrink wrapped, and got a real good connection here, soldered on the inside, and then soldered on the outside here. And I'm getting ready to crimp down these little wire keepers. I don't think they'll do much, but anyway, it'll be keep them a little bit firm. So that's all now, and again, we're gonna use the Loctite on every 6-8 inches. I'll put a drop, and the adhesive seems to be, gave a little trial, and it seems to be pretty sticky. So most of the folks on the forums and the videos, I've heard that it didn't stick, which can be an issue. They didn't really prep it that well. Use high-grade alcohol, which I'm not talking about Crown Royal or Hennessy, but high-grade alcohol. But the best is acetone. So, prep your area good. Prepping is important. And if you have to go back, go to your auto parts store, get you some 3M double adhesive, and that stuff will stick. If all you got is M adhesive instead of 3M. All right, and hopefully the eBay seller will, hook me up on what they should have. All right, and I'll be able to do the outside. Maybe that would be a second video. Probably will be, because I don't think they're going to get it here tonight. All right, thanks, folks. Just want to show you my electrical connection prowess. I think this is going to be good. All right, thanks. Thanks, folks. And again, I'm getting sunset, so I'm probably gonna wait till dark till I make the actual placement. Just make sure we're good, and that'll get me the full effect. And I'm in the garage, so which she normally doesn't come in the garage, so it's a little special treat. Normally she's covered in a tarp, but gotta do what you gotta do. So got crappie. Okay, we're looking blue. So what I've done is I've just gone along, and every 5 or 6 feet I've used a little piece of duct tape just to fix it up and to see whether I wanted it up like this, or up shining down, or up shining out. And as you can see, if shining out, it would be plenty bright, so I think it's going to illuminate well like this. So, and the little piece of tape every 2 foot or foot, 18 inches, I think it's going to work out in my favor, where I will be able to pull that and use the super glue and peel the backing off on that stretch. Other folks I've seen had it on the reel and were unrolling it and stripping it off up to the reel and doing that little sections at a time. But I think this would be a little bit better, going from piece of tape to piece of tape to piece of tape, and go from there. I think it's going to do me well, so pretty pleased about it so far. I'm getting ready to do the install, and again, I'll use the gel super glue. I'm going to go every 6 inches. I got 2 tubes, so make it work. All right, pretty excited. Be nice to see at night. All right, we're looking pretty sharp. I had a few little hiccups. I used my 2 bottles of super glue, the gel, and then I had 1 other small tube. So I used them up and finished up just right. Little curves are supposed to do a little bit better than that. I used a little duct tape to hold it down. So on the corners, not so good. So apparently, you know, the high dollar ones that they come and install maybe has a little bit better backing. I can also tweak this a little bit later on with some 3M tape. So here we go. Let's as you can see, the lights are on in the garage. So let's go dark. I should be able to see in here. So I was able to go all the way around the boat on the inside, with the exception of a 2.5 foot swath right here. But I'm pretty happy with it so far. I'll probably be a lot more happier out in the water. I'm always happier on the water. Okay, see right over here, this little section right there, it's about less than 2 foot section that didn't come around. So I guess I could join the end and, you know, buy another piece of tape, but you know what? That ain't gonna happen. So I'm super stoked. This will give me some some ambiance without burning my eyes out. In the back here, just how I had to come around here. That's going to be bright. I could put some duct tape over it, and that would dull it out a little bit, but still illuminate some. But stay tuned. Wow, look at this orange jig head. It's just a glowing. All right. Yeah, I can't wait to see my Bobby Garlands flashing underneath this. And the green light, my bright nights, green lights out. And my interior, blue. This is blue. So it puts off a little bit of purple haze. But the purple actually puts off sort of a pinkish haze. And I'll be doing the same on the outside with a green. Same green that I had. All right, so thanks again for joining me on Chippo Fishing. We look forward to seeing you out in the water. All right, well, we enjoyed it, and hopefully this wasn't too big of a bore, but instead I'm sort of hoping that somebody can take this ball and run with it. I just want to put out some information that'll help somebody, and maybe they'll figure some stuff out and pass it along. That's what it's all about: sharing the wealth, sharing the knowledge, and mostly sharing the love and the passion. Crappie fishing is so awesome. So awesome. All right, thanks again, folks. Appreciate you staying with me. Peace.